Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you for tuning in. As always, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. Gratitude to anybody new. Welcome along. Let's talk about charisma, right? Specifically, Xander Zayas' charisma, and you know what charisma is, and you know how you actually you can improve your charisma, because it is scientific, right? The studies have been shown that there's a lot of science involved in charisma. It actually is a Greek term meaning like that you are favored, like a gift, basically. A gift from the gods, basically. It's like you know, a lot of people think of charisma as a gift, which it is, but it can be developed. So we're going to get into the science of it. I'm going to talk about Xander Zayas. I'm going to talk about his up-and-coming fight, which is next week, which is actually a very tough fight. All right, guys, just going to jump in really quickly. I just realized that this fight is indeed actually for a vacant belt. So the winner of this fight will be a new world champion in the junior middleweight division, WBO. Jorge Perez, I think the guy's name is. I was watching the fight with Charles Conwell. He just beat him. A couple of months ago now. I looked down his record. I hadn't heard of him before, but I think it looks like really good matchmaking, because the guy is kind of wiry, he can punch a little bit, he's got experience, you know, he's a tough guy, he's coming to fight, he's coming to win, and this is, I think, an excellent matchup for Xander, because obviously after that, should Xander be victorious, some big fights at 154, you know, massive fights at 154 actually.
And we already got the sparring partner set up for this camp, so we already have an idea of who we're going to be bringing.
And that division is still, you know, pretty red hot, and there's so many good fights to make. But I think, personally, I think this is a good matchup to get him just that little bit more experience before, because he's ready, you know. And this is one of the things, like, for going back to charisma, is you know, your body language, your confidence, you know, your emotional connection with people, your ability to, you know, make eye contact with people, and the way he talks and expresses himself.
I'm excited to put on a show once again for the fans, for everybody, and to put the 154 pound weight class on notice.
Very authentic guy, do you know what I mean?
It's finally here. I'm excited. Something that, again, I've been working on, and we've been pushing towards too, and just excited that it's finally happening.
And just he has that glow, that charismatic glow. And you know, when he fights too, he fights with passion.
There's a nice liver shot from Xander Zayas. Sosa is a fighter who knows how to take a shot.
He's got a lot of skills,
which is hard to do.
There's a willingness. Targeting the body, level changes, and he's having a really good finish to this fourth round.
His skills are getting better and better and better. And shout out to Sweat Boxing in, I think they're in Florida or Puerto Rico, one of the two. Sweat Boxing down in Florida. Javier Centeno, that is Xander Zayas' trainer. I've been a big admirer of him for a while, to be honest with you. I watch a lot of his videos, you know, he posts some stuff on from his gym with Xander. I think he trains Henry LeBron as well still. Pretty sure he used to, for sure. I think they still do. And you know, he just does some very technical pad work. I think it's tremendous. And he's really developing Xander, not just from a fighter, but you know, he's a father figure in that camp. And it's great to see, and they're guiding him beautifully, you know. And another good matchmaking situation here with Perez. And like I said, that Perez is a good fighter, man. He can really crack downstairs as well. He whips those shots in.
Now let his hands go a little bit more, but Perez right there, and he's trying to bully. Conwell lands a left uppercut.
The amount of leverage he gets on those shots.
He told us yesterday, he said, look, I may not look that strong, I may look tall and skinny, but I've got plenty of power. Believe me, I pack a big punch.
Xander Zayas is going to have to be careful, because he is, you know, in with a live fighter that can crack, and he's coming to win, and is tough, you know, Mexican fighter. And when you have those dudes in front of you, and he's not been stopped, he's lost 4 times, right, to, you know, you look down, I didn't recognize some of the names, but Carlos Ocampo, who Tim Tszyu stopped, Errol Spence stopped, Sebastian Fandora stopped. So all these guys, sorry, Fandora I think went 12, but these guys at that level of beating this guy, Xander's got to beat this guy to be, you know, obviously, He has to. But to have a shout at taking a scalp on some of the top guys, you got to get through this guy. But it should be a good fight. You know, it's coming up Saturday at Madison Square Garden, the theater. But I just wanted to touch in on Xander because, you know, it's obviously an exciting stage for him right now. And his charisma is going to suit him well. Let's talk a bit more about charisma. You know, as I said, it's your body language. It's your ability to communicate with an audience.
You guys are going to see the difference between the Xander Zayas kid and the Xander Zayas grown man.
The way he does, you know, his big smile and his laughter and his character and his humor, humility, authenticity.
Al final está en ti, si tú pones el trabajo duro, la dedicación, el enfoque y tienes el hambre, nos veremos en la cima.
All these things are a big part of charisma. And as I said, you got to look at charisma as like a muscle, right? You know, some people are born with bigger muscles, some people aren't, but you can develop it, right? And that's the thing about charisma, you can develop. It's like singing as well. You know, most people could probably be taught to sing, or some people are natural singers. You got to think of it like that. So Xander Zayas he's naturally charismatic, and he's developing his charisma too, because he's very good on camera, very good with the audience. Obviously, his fans love him. He loves his country, and that's going to be a big part of making him a superstar because he is so charismatic. And you know, he got a stoppage in his last fight. I didn't watch the whole fight. I watched the highlights, but
he went downstairs there. Body shot clearly affected Slava.
You know, after this, I'm going to do a bit more detail on Xander. Maybe I'll do a film study on, you know, going to a bit more, because I've covered a lot of his fights, and I think he's coming on quite nicely. His skills are tremendously underrated, I think, you know, and his self-belief too. You know, I know he wanted to take that Virgil Ortiz fight. To be honest with you, for me at the time, I thought that was very brave, do you know what I mean? But I'd probably favored Ortiz in that fight. Probably favor Fondora right now, to be honest with you. You know, I think I will see how he looks against Perez, but Fondora is an absolute nightmare. If you don't have any power or major counter-punching ability, and Xander Zayas is actually a tremendous counter-puncher, so that might stand him in good stead. But you're talking about a 6'6" southpaw who's actually getting better and better as a bona fide world champion now. You know, he defended his belt, just knocked out Tim Tszyu, and you know, he is an absolute handful. You know, it's going to take some serious skills to bring that guy down, and Xander Zayas' skills are coming on strong, but you do need a bit of power, I think, to keep somebody like Fondora honest. Do you know what I mean? Look at what Brian Mendoza did. And then Tim Tszyu in the first fight, for the first couple of rounds, was countering nicely with sharp, hard shots. You got to do that, and you got to back Fondora up. You can't let him back you up. If you start letting him back you up, he's going to just start poking you with that jab, coming back with that cross, backing you up, hitting those uppercuts in. So you got to be careful, you know. But there's a whole load of killers at 154, and you know, Xander's self-belief is going to do him really well. But you know, his charisma, his fighting passion, skill set, team, you know, I wish him well, really do. Tremendous fighter, great kid, loads of charisma. And that's it for today. Appreciate you guys watching and tuning in. I'm going to put a few more videos out. It's going to be art, science, boxing. No art today, but you know, I tried to keep it on theme. And you know, I'll be doing a few more videos on the Dalton Smith Subriel Matthias matchup. Matthias Smith, should I say. I've got a few nice little things lined up musically for that as well. Really, hopefully by, you know, the end of August, early September, I'm gonna have some tremendous content for you guys. I'm really gonna put my heart and soul into it, you know what I mean? Because you know, I'm really grateful for people that are responding to those videos. So it's making me want to really dig out the best of me, which I do anyway, but a little more now, where I'm putting more practice into the music and bringing in some more drums and pianos and whatever else science I can find. But yeah, that's it from me. As always, peace, love, have a great week. What day is it today? Sunday. Right, have a great week. Yeah, I'll probably get this out by Monday or Tuesday, and then, you know, I'll have a bit more content. I'm going away for a few days, so when I get back, I'll be back at it, and then, you know, probably do a maybe I don't want to do post fights anymore, because I want to talk about science and art, you know, and I don't want to just talk about the fight unless it's really a fight I've been covering hard. But I'm trying to make the content, like I said, more purposeful with scientific stuff and artistic stuff. So you might not see a post-fight review there unless I can find a way in. But hope you enjoy the fight. Whatever you do, have a great one. I'm out.
Boxing.
Knowledge.